Let me tell you a story. Imagine going an entire month without spending a single cent on anything that wasn't an absolute must-pay bill. No coffee runs, no takeout, no mindless online shopping. I know, it sounds pretty much impossible, right? Well, I actually did it. I took on a 30-day, $0 budget challenge, and what I discovered, it really did change my entire relationship with money.
It's a heck of a question to ask yourself, isn't it? Because let me be clear, this isn't just about saving a few bucks here and there. It's about a complete and total reset. It's a journey that peels back the curtain on what you're really spending your money on. So let's dive into how this whole thing actually works.
Okay, so first things first, you gotta know the rules of the game. They sound deceptively simple, but trust me, sticking to them, that's where the real fight is. So what does that actually mean in plain English? It means for 1 month, 30 days, you commit to spending absolutely nothing on those little extra things. The only money that's allowed to leave your bank account is for the big, essential stuff that's already locked in. And this is where the line in the sand is drawn, crystal clear. On one side, you've got the essentials, your rent or mortgage, the lights, the food you already bought, and what it takes to get to work. But on the other side, yeah, that's pretty much everything else. That daily coffee? Nope. Friday night pizza? Not happening. That shirt you just saw in an ad? Forget about it. It all goes to zero. And this is so important. This whole challenge was never just about hoarding cash. It was about finding the truth. It was like shining a giant spotlight on all my hidden unconscious spending habits. The goal was to shatter that impulse buy cycle and force myself to get creative with everything I already had. And I'll tell you right now, the victory wasn't won in the day-to-day struggle. No way. It was won before day one even started. The preparation, that was everything. I'm not kidding, this was like 80% of the entire battle. Before the clock even started, I paid every single bill I could ahead of time. I did one massive grocery run for all the staples, rice, beans, pasta, frozen veggies, so I'd have no excuse to go to the store. Then I went on an absolute unsubscribing rampage, deleting marketing emails, unfollowing accounts, anything that could tempt me. And maybe most importantly, I told my friends so they'd get why I was suddenly turning down every invitation. So with all that prep work done, it was time. I stepped into the unknown. And that first week, man, it was a total shock to my system. Looking back, the whole journey really broke down into these 4 distinct phases. The first was just pure shock and detox. Then this little spark of creativity started to appear. That led to a genuine shift in my whole mindset. And finally, there was the home stretch where it all just clicked. I honestly can't overstate how tough that first week was. The simple habit of just reaching for my wallet, it's so deeply ingrained, it felt like fighting against my own body. The craving for just a simple cup of coffee was intense. And the FOMO, the fear of missing out, was so real when my friends were making plans. It felt like I was going through withdrawal from a drug I didn't even know I was taking. And this was the single biggest lesson from that week, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. The money I was spending wasn't just for stuff. I was paying for convenience when I was tired. I was paying for comfort when I felt stressed out. I was paying for connection when I felt lonely. That was the real discovery. But after I made it through that initial storm, something inside me started to change. The struggle, the frustration, it started to turn into a kind of strength I didn't even know I had. Yeah, by the time week 2 rolled around, that constant feeling of I can't have that started to change. My brain, no longer obsessed with what to buy, started asking a totally different question. Okay, so what can I create for free? And you know what? The answers were everywhere. I started going for these long walks in the park again. I pulled books off my shelf that I'd owned for years but never actually read. I got really creative in the kitchen, making incredible meals out of the simplest things. I even fixed a leaky faucet myself instead of just calling a plumber. I was going from being a consumer to being a creator. So, by the time I finally reached the end of that month, my whole perspective had shifted. I swear, the person who started this challenge was not the same one who finished it. And the results? They were just staggering. Over $1,000 in 1 month, just from cutting out all the extra stuff. Seeing that number in black and white was a genuine shock. It was just hard proof of how much money was slipping through my fingers on things I clearly didn't need to be happy. But honestly, the money was just a number. The real treasure was this. The clarity I got was priceless. I finally truly understood the difference between a need and a want. in my bones. I felt like I had broken free from this consumer spell, and I proved to myself, once and for all, that the best things in my life were not things at all.
So, if any of this story is resonating with you, you might be thinking about trying it for yourself. And you know what? You absolutely can. Here's a simple little blueprint to get you started on your own journey. Look, you don't have to go for a full 30 days right out of the gate. Just start small. Try it for a weekend or a single week. See how it feels. But do the prep work. Get your groceries, cut off the temptations online, and definitely find a buddy to keep you accountable. Plan your free fun ahead of time so you're not sitting around bored and tempted to spend.
And please, remember this. This is not about living a life of permanent deprivation. It's a short-term, high-impact tool. Think of it like a financial cleanse, a powerful reset button that gives you a fresh start with better habits and a much clearer mind. That 1 month taught me more about myself than a dozen finance books ever could. It's about resilience, it's about being intentional, and it's about taking back control. So the only question left to ask is simple. Are you ready to hit your own reset button?
Ultimately, mastering your finances isn't about magic. It's about knowledge, discipline, and consistent action. I hope this video has empowered you to take control. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building the financial life you truly desire. If you're ready for more insights, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what financial topic do you want to conquer next? Let's build wealth together.